Please close your eyes in your comfortable seat. And just start to find a slower, fuller breath that doesn't require so much effort right now, but instead of effort, think of sensitivity. Work of fullness unlike any other. Just there is this nice radiance of the heart. And it's not limited to the front of your heart, right? The inhale can also go sideways. You can even move the ribs a little if that feels nice. The inhale can even move backwards. You might bow the head a bit so the back of the rib cage can expand more fully. Hey, Ali. And then again, in the stillness, with always the invitation and meditation, if you need to readjust your positioning, please do so. But once you find comfort, invite stillness so that sensitivity, it can be increased each breath. Relax your jaw, you guys. Part your teeth in the back and lift your chin now to the place where you would be able to take a nice sip of water. Let the ears slide back a bit so the channel of energy from your pelvis through your crown is more open versus narrowed. And so it's a continual opening of the central channel that will move through the Vinyasa today. And in this initial meditation, I invite you now to think of those things through your day that bring you joy. The simplest things. The messages to a close friend, or making yourself good food, the movement practices, be it this yoga or any other. What is it that initiates the sweet and intentional delight of the simplicity of daily life? Set your heart into that joyous space of knowing exactly what you need. And then bringing your hands to the heart center. Allow the head to come down just a little bit. To set a clear intention for your practice, and being Monday, I'd like to invite the practice of joy. The practice of maybe a continual recreation of routine. And despite, of course, inevitable challenges to the new routine, the opportunity to build joy very intentionally. The next time you find yourself inhaling, fill all the way up, take a really big inhale, hold your breath at the top briefly. We're going to cleanse it out, so let the jaw open and exhale, making sound out the mouth as if you were fogging up a mirror. Let's do that twice more. Inhale, fill all the way up, even into the side and the back of your ribs. Hold it briefly, feel that power inside of you. And letting it go with the sound. One more time, full breath in, gradually fill up. And I invite you to be as loud as you want. You're alone in your space. As you exhale, release it out. Coming to center, let your eyes flutter open. Stretch your arms to the sky and just do a little side bending. So let the ribs go side to side. And as your eyes open, gaze at your space. Whatever is in your room, in your space, even if it's different than a more normal yoga studio. You can put the right hand on the ground and reach the left arm up and over. Eventually going to the other side, just super simple seated side stretches, reaching long, but letting the eyes be soft as you gaze at your space, and even the clutter, even the distractions, not being something negative, right? This is your space, your home, your environment, be it temporary or permanent. And it's these spaces that really define our joy. And I see that book I love reading, or that journal that reminds me of that time in my life. Finding center, yeah, let's intertwine the fingers, press your palms up as Kim's doing. Try to get super long through your spine. Take a full breath in. And as you exhale, all fours positions, so just softly release, hands to the ground, readjust your legs, hands and knees we go. Move any props out of the way if you were using them to sit on. And we'll start with some simple cat-cow. Nice. As you inhale, lift the crown of your head, lift your tailbone, arch the back, open your front. And when your own exhale comes around, your back tuck and curl as big as you wish. And do a few more at your own speed. And this is really the delight of home practice with facilitation and support, of course. But this opportunity, you guys, I mean, you're in your space, you're in your flow. Allow the inner body to be the main communicator here. And if you'd like to start to go laterally, getting into the sides of the ribs, and maybe making these like some big swirly motions of the whole spinal area, you can just do what you need. No right or wrong, honestly. And but pay attention to the hands though. So the hands have spread, right? Each finger has a lot of space from each other, and you want to grip with your fingertips, all 10 of them, as if slab climbing. Yeah. Nice. And then we'll start with the next, or we'll move to a downward facing dog. Curl the toes under, lift the hips up and back, starting the process of heating up the body. Pedal out your legs. Create tons of space and work stretch through the pelvic floor, from the top of the pelvis down through your heels. And then I invite you to take a really big inhale and open your mouth to release that out. One more here. Inhale, fill up all the way up, even into the back side of your body. And then exhale it out. Cool. Inhale, lift both heels up really high. Exhale, bend your knees, step or hop to the front of your mat with your feet pretty wide apart, potentially as wide as a yoga mat, so you have a lot of space. Hold opposite elbows, bend the knees a bit, and dangle in the ragdoll pose. Letting the ribs and the head just chill out. But noticing the feet, similar to the hands, there is a connectivity of all sides, of all 5 toes on each foot, of all 4 corners, the 2 sides of the ball of your foot, the 2 sides of the heel. That rootedness will gain access to lots of stability in the pelvic floor. Please release the hands, bend the knees, squeeze the low belly in super duper tight, curl up slowly, 1 vertebrae stacks at a time. When you do stand up, again, no rush, stretch your arms up like a big star pose, let everything be wide, 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 arms to the sky. As you exhale, bring your hands to your heart center and take a moment to step your feet a comfortable distance apart. So it could come all the way together if you prefer. You could have a little space between the feet, that works too. Mountain pose. Broaden the ribs, pause, and without too much physical movement on the external, allow the internal movement to be the larger conversation, the breath, the central channel, the sensitivity of the heat you feel palm to palm. Open the mouth and let an exhale out all the way. And then intertwine the fingers again, flip them above your head again, as we did when we were sitting. And inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, go to the right side, up and over. Inhale, you'll come back to the center, reach long, exhale, up and over to the left side. And inhale, coming back to center and repeating that a few more times at your own speed, really stretching through the palms. What a beneficial time, a reduction of time on the wall, an opportunity to get our forearms fully opened again. Nice. Next time you go to the left, that will be the last one we'll do for now. We'll come back to mountain pose, reach the arms up, unbind the hands, inhale, exhale to forward fold, hinge at the hips, reach forward and then down to the earth. Do some sun A's. Inhale, lift, come up halfway, lengthen your spine. Big exhale, step or hop into plank. From plank, pull the heart forward about an inch. And as you exhale, bend your elbows backwards, chaturanga. Use your knees if you like. Inhale, float over the feet, roll over the feet, float the heart up, upward facing dog, cobra is a nice alternative. Exhale, roll over the feet, curling the toes back under, downward facing dog for 5 breaths. And joy can be the simplest, from space to breathe, to the stickiness of the mat, to your pets that walk through your space in the middle of your practice. So sweet. On your next inhale, lift your heels high. Exhale, bend your knees, step or take a little hop to the front of the yoga space. Feet can be together or a little spaced apart, it's optional. Inhale, lengthen, just make sure the feet are parallel, pointing forward. Exhale, forward bend, Uttanasana. Inhale, let's stand all the way up again, raise the arms up crazy high, get super duper stretched out. Exhale, join the hands to the heart center. Inhale, raise the arms out and up, full stretch, sun A. Exhale, squeeze your belly forward, fold, wide hips. Inhale, lift, you lengthen, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale to chaturanga. So this time I invite you to step or hop directly back into a bent elbows. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Yeah, nice, Julia, nice open throat. Exhale, curl the toes, lift your hips up and way back to your downward dog. We'll take a few breaths here. I invite you to notice the yin in the yang, the softness that can give space to the engagement, or the space that can be given to the body due to the engagements. The push through the hands, the rise of the pelvis is a relationship of giving permission, of letting go. Kind of like when you get a really good hug and you can soften into your friend, and there's a feeling of there's strength and steadiness. It's not overbearing, that hug. There's stability, and then there's that softness. Let's go again. Inhale, lift your heels really high. Get a good stretch into the feet. Exhale, bend your knees. You can step or float to the front of your yoga mat. On the inhale, lengthen halfway. On the exhale, fold back to the earth. You'll inhale to rise, stand all the way up, stretch your arms to the ceiling. Now this time on the exhale, bring your arms to cactus. You just bend your elbows to 90 degrees. Yeah, do some circles with the elbows, go forward, up, back, and down, and you'll probably feel some interesting clicks and pops in the shoulder girdle. Don't be afraid to get in there. As you're doing a couple more of these, notice your jaw. It might try to take over the pressure of it. So soften the teeth. Yeah, nice. Go the other way, retracing the circles, a less intuitive direction to see what might come up for you. Good. Inhale, raise your arms back up to the sky, full stretch. Exhale, forward fold, hinge at your hips, reach towards your toes. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, chaturanga, step or float the legs back. Use your knees if you like, come halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog, full body long on the front side. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, let's pump it up a little. Lift your right leg, bend the knee, and do some playful circular movements. So really, again, an inner intuition, this part of you that is building a strong home practice right now, right? Where does the joy come from? It's not always the easiest place for the hip, but it's the interesting place. Now inhale, lengthen the right leg, square the hips, straightening the right leg, square the hips. As you exhale, bring your knee to your nose, drawing the low belly up and in. So nice tight squeeze. Yeah, cool. Inhale, re-extend your right leg up high. Go to crescent lunge, so you'll place your right foot in between your two strong hands and inhale, raise your arms up, keeping the back heel lifted, crescent pose. Yeah, good, Allie. And again, we'll go to cactus arms, but this time more for a back bend. So press your elbows a little more forward than you might be used to. Elbows spiral forward, take the hands more back, and imagine like you're climbing, you're pulling up, not just with the arms, but your whole body is giving you the lift. Good, inhale, re-extend your arms up high. Warrior two, spin the left heel flat, reach your arms out to the sides in a T shape, gazing at the right hand. Find a drishti, the focal point of the eyes becomes softer than ever, effortless. Yeah, and then flip your right palm up and reverse it. Just go really big on that right side. Keep the right hip rooting down as you allow the whole right rib side, the whole right rib cage side, become more expansive, more joyous, more playful. Final inhale here. We'll flow, cartwheel your hands down to the yoga mat, framing your front foot, step back to plank, and either take your chaturanga flow of your choice, or you could also simply push back directly to your downward facing dog as an alternative to chaturanga. Yeah. When you do get back there, lift your left leg, bend that knee, do some circles or any movements. Again, find the joy in the space. The balance of the discipline and the freedom. The ability to take on a new daily routine or a new schedule and flow with it. Inhale, straighten up that left leg, square the hips, breathe in. Exhale, knee to nose, tighten the core, pull the belly way up and in. Yeah, nice, good job, Kim. Inhale, re-extend the left leg, maybe higher this time. As you exhale, place the left foot through for crescent lunge pose. Inhale, raise your arms up. And again, exhale, cactus your arms. And again, I'm gonna invite you, instead of taking the elbows so far back, try it out today. Elbows a bit forward, hands back. There's a spiraling and a lifting of the entire rib cage. Like if your ribs were a balloon, right? Or a buoy in the ocean, there's a floating. Soften the jaw, final breath. Good job, everybody. Inhale, re-extend, arms up high. Exhale, swivel the right heel down for warrior two. The back right foot is either parallel to the back of your space, or a little pigeon toe in the back foot can be helpful if you have maybe a sensitive knee, or if you just like that added inner spiral. Yeah, gazing at the left hand, nice, Allie. Rotate your left palm upwards and reverse your warrior. So just drawing this big kind of half circle shape up and back. Back right arm could either land on the leg softly or hook behind the back. Broaden the ribs, full inhale, one more. Then softly cartwheel hands to frame your left foot. Step to plank and either just lift the hips to your dog or take a chaturanga flow. Yeah, good, Dawn, I love it. I'm gonna have to get one of those. Good, 5 breaths in downward dog are optional, always optional for the child's pose. And if you can, build so much structure in the basics of this posture, the basics of your down dog, that the breath can thrive, right? It's like having a steady, space or a home environment where you know where things are and it's not scattered, it's not messy. There's an organization to the dog, and then we can get playful within that. So cool. On your next inhale, please go high with your heels, stretching out your toes a bunch. Exhale, bend your knees, step or float to the front of your mat. This time, go feet all the way together if you weren't doing that already. Let's go feet narrow. Inhale, lift and lengthen, a half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, simply fold back down to the earth. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Bend your knees and let's sweep the arms forward and up. Palms could have some space, or if you want the challenge, bring them together to connect. But again, notice, let's all do this. Wherever you're at, just bring the arms a little bit lower, not quite so high for a moment, and take the tension out of your neck. Then from the core, Lift the arms back higher to their fullest range of motion as you sit deep. Yeah. 2 more breaths. Woo. Heating it up. Mountain pose, arms come down by your sides as you stand up tall. Let's stay here in a bit of stillness, inviting no movement really other than the breath. Adjust your body as you need appropriately, right? Expand through the inhale. So there's a balloon-like entity within you. It's spherical, it's global, it's not linear. It's expanding up the breath, expanding forward as much as it is backwards, sideways as much as it is up and down. It's really the energetics of the light of the sun, multi-directional. Take 1 more breath. And for chair pose, please bend your knees. You can sweep your arms behind you and then again forward and up, just for 1 inhale this time. And as you exhale, forward fold, reach to the earth, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift halfway, Ardha Uttanasana, go for a full stretch. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, modifications invited. If you prefer to press back to downward dog, that is absolutely cool as well. Cool. Let's get more into our hips. Right leg up, bend your knee, rotate it around, do some free movement that allows you to, again, find this joyous nature of the body. Yeah, that left heel stays low as the tailbone arcs high. Yeah, Dawn, and then re-extend the right leg, equalize the hips, square the hips. Exhale, knee to nose, core super tight as you draw it in. Inhale, re-extend your right leg up. Nice. Exhale, crescent lunge again, place your foot between your hands. This time as you raise your arms up, we're gonna keep them there. No cactus this round. Yeah. Crescent lunge, establish the center line by hugging your legs together. It's like scissors, the legs trying to pull closer even though I know they're wide apart. Keeping that, twist to the right by taking your right arm behind you and your left arm out in front of you. Cool, that's an exhale move, and then inhale, come back to crescent in the same way you entered that. Let's do it a couple more times. And the invitation here is with the twist, notice where is it coming from. And I invite you to use less of the neck initially. And instead, yeah, nice, Kim, more of the base of the ribs. So this bellowy, low rib space is so powerful. It's where like our deep, powerful voice comes from. Next time you twist, let's hang out there for a little bit. Option to exalt it, put the right hand on the back left leg and reach your left arm way up and back. The gaze is peeking towards the back foot. Again, soften the neck. It's so easy on these poses to just yank from the neck joint. The neck follows what the ribs are doing for the most safety and a deeper experience of yourself. Yeah. Cool. Returning to crescent. Inhale, right arm, both arms above head. Exhale, warrior 2. Again, spin out to the left side. Adjust the body as needed. And then reverse it. Right arm up again, right palm up, lift up, reach up and back. And side angle pose, put your right elbow on your right leg and take your left arm in a diagonal, extended side angle left arm all the way by the ear. If you want a little more depth, your right hand might go to the earth or a yoga block or a water bottle, whatever you have. But the elbow on the leg is still a very beneficial place to spend your time. 5 breaths here. Hug to the center, so leg to leg. There's a inner thigh stimulus package that we need, right? Getting more inner thigh stability. Then out of that, you can reach more, you can lengthen more from the center line. Now take your left hand behind your back, so a half bind. We're not going to do a full bind yet. Left hand, the top of the hand flips around, the top of it touches your sacrum. Maybe you can sneak it into the inner right thigh, but that's not required. Now you're going to twist a little bit. Keep the twist from the ribs. Gaze a little more skyward, but allow the chin to be a result of the sternum rotating versus the neck yanking. Yeah, you got it. 1 more breath. Good, Dawn. I love it. And then come out real slow. So coming out of bind, slowly undo that left arm, chaturanga flow or a downward dog. And every time we come out of any kind of binds that we're doing today, you guys, I invite you to take it slow and steady. Yeah, good. When you get back to down dog, take a breath or two in preparation. And then we'll go left leg up. And again, just some playful movements. No right or wrong here. Pump the leg, bend it and extend it. Kind of roundhouse kick style can be kind of fun just to play with that pelvic floor opportunity, the opening you get with these types of movements. Yeah. And then square the hips up, equalize the hips, straighten your left leg, go high. It feels like the splits. Exhale, draw the knee to the nose, curling your low belly in and up to your core. Yes. Inhale, re-extend your left leg super high. Exhale, crescent pose, strongly but softly place the left foot. Inhale, raise your arms up high, establish length. Arms are gonna stay above the head, very similar to your mountain pose, yeah. Might help to spread your fingers, get a sense of the tonus of the entire arm. Inhale, lift. As you exhale, twist the left arm behind you, right arm forward, facing to the left of your space. And then the inhale brings you back to the basic crescent lunge. And the exhale, you do that little twist. Or I guess it's a big twist, it's not little. And continue with your own breath, learning. The legs have to hug to the center for full stability here. Yeah. And the ribs have to initiate the twist, not so much the neck. Let's go next time we're there, we'll hang out, stay there, or maybe exalted warrior. Right arm reaches, left hand will touch the back right leg, and it's very similar feeling to reversed warrior with the obvious added twist. Yeah, nice, Allie. Open the throat, open the ribs. Inhaling back to your crescent lunge pose. Exhale, warrior two, spin the right heel to the earth, bend your arms broad, soften your neck, even bob the head every so often, just the breath, stress of the press out of the neck. Reverse warrior, take the left palm up, reverse it, sit deep as you open long. Exhale, put the elbow on the front leg and extend the right arm across the ear. So you're basically making a full angle, a full diagonal line from the right foot through the right hand. Or it's optional, the left hand could go to the earth, or if you're not quite ready to go to the earth, but you want a little more challenge, you might put the hand on a yoga block if you have one, or a tall water bottle, something stable you have around the house. And now taking it behind your back, flip the right arm backwards, the top of your hand, so it's a twist of the shoulder, touches your sacrum. Now the shoulder may droop forward excessively, so you gotta really work scapula back, open collarbones, and even a little twist. But effectively notice how much the rib cage can be a part of this process, right? It doesn't just have to be your shoulder or the arm doing all the effort, neck, but it's this rotation of the center of the heart that allows an expression of fullness, even in places of binding, of feeling bound. 2 full breaths. Notice what comes up for you, even if it might be frustration or anger at the shape, at the challenge. And we'll come out slow. Don't throw the arm out there. Come out nice and liquid-like. Place the hands, frame the foot, take a chaturanga, or simply push your hips back to downward facing dog. Take your time, no rush. From this down dog, let's put the knees down on the mat really wide. Let the big toes touch. Put your forehead down and extend your arms out really long away from your hips. Child's pose, extended child's pose. An alternative to this pose is to bring the knees together. So your belly is on the legs and the arms, and then in that form the hands would go down by your feet with your palms up. So kind of the 2 main versions of child's pose. And I invite you to explore which of the 2 benefits you the most at this time. And come back into the joy. And even the curiosity of the joy, the ability in this time to find new pleasures, to notice new, different, or unveiled parts of ourselves, to feel differently, to flow differently throughout the day. When the expectations change, so can we. On the next inhale, rise up, make your way to all fours, hands and knees, and curl your toes, lift your hips up and back. Please find your downward facing dog. Take a breath. Good. Okay, we're gonna pump it up just a little more for a few minutes, then we'll cool it down. Inhale, right leg up, straight up, keep the hips square, one breath. Exhale, knee to nose, tuck and curl, engage your core a lot. Inhale, re-extend your right leg up high. Exhale, crescent lunge, place your right foot between your hands. Inhale, raise your arms up high. Twisting to the right, take the right arm behind you, the left arm out in front of you. Optional exalted warrior, inhale, left arm up, right arm is on the back leg. Inhale, back to crescent lunge, both arms above head, stay low in the hips, warrior two. Exhale, open out to the side. Okay, reverse your warrior and stay there. So once that right arm is up, I'm gonna keep you here with the upper body and then extend the right leg towards a straight leg. Nice and slow. Yeah, so staying here, reversed warrior with straight legs. Basically, just be thoughtful not to lock your knees backwards. It's really easy to do here if you're not paying attention. One more breath in. And then keep the legs and then bring your arms back to a T shape for triangle. Pop the left hip back, reach forward and down. Right hand could land on the ankle, left arms to the sky, right? The right peace fingers could hook the big toe if you like that version. Alternatively, some type of support, a block, a bolster, a nearby table or couch to give yourself support. Most important really here is to not dump into your knees and to work at length of the spine. Yeah, activate the legs, hug them to the center and work space, each part of the back longer. Final breath here. We're gonna stand back up. So use an inhale, push the legs down, rise back up, put your hands on your hips, rotate your right toes to be parallel with your left. So you're facing the long edge of your mat or your space. Stabilize the legs, inhale, take the hands behind your back and interlace all the fingers. Draw your shoulder blades on your back, look up and open the chest like crazy. As you forward fold, go for it, you might bend your knees. Exhale to forward fold, the knees could bend to aid your descension. 5 breaths. If the arms start to feel too much in this bind, that's where that strap or towel you have come into play. Instead of holding hand to hand, grab your strap, grab your towel, and just give more inches between each hand. Right? It's a nice way to be able to sustain this posture a little bit longer without overwhelming yourself, depending on where you're at. And especially as climbers, these types of binds, they're going to be a challenge. They're going to be a Stay here a couple more moments. Turn the head side to side. Playing with that natural range of motion that we all want to keep as we age. The ability to look over our shoulder, the ability to hold our head high. Especially when our modern day, it's so easy to be folded forward over the devices so many hours through the day. We've had enough of this. We'll release the bind, but we'll stay in the fold. So just put your hands either on the ground, grab your big toes. You can do a little bend one knee, bend the other, shaking up the tissues of the pelvic floor. If you love to go upside down, this would be a nice place to add that into your practice. You could do head or handstand. Please ensure you are safe. I am not with you. I can see a couple of you. So only adding that into your practice if you know on your own that is something healthy and safe for you to do. Dawn, I am very jealous of that. It's great. We'll slowly come back to the earth, bend both knees. You guys walk over to the front right foot with your hands, step back, downward dog, or a chaturanga flow as an option. So good. In the dog, take a full breath in and a full breath out. This is it, you guys. Preparation for chilling out in just a bit. Inhale, lift your left leg high, keep the hips square. Exhale, knee to nose, crunch and curl, tap and pull the low belly in and up. Inhale, re-extend the left leg super high. Exhale, crescent, place the left foot between the hands. Inhale, raise your arms up full through the heart, let the ribs lift. Exhale, twist to the left, right arm forward. You stay here, or inhale, exalted warrior, reach up and back. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, re-extend back to crescent lunge, arms above your head. Exhale, warrior two, spin out to the right, adjusting the right foot intelligently. Yeah, good. Inhale, reverse warrior, left palm flips, up and back you go. Stay here with the upper body, and then just work the left leg straight. Mindful to not lock the knees. And what can help a lot with that is this hugging the midline. I keep repeating this feeling as if you're trying to sweep foot to foot. Not so much you're overwhelming yourself, not so much it's the only action you're doing. There's a lot going on. You have your bandhas, your core, and all the things, but that nice, sweet hug, again, it's like having that great embrace from a close friend where it's stable enough, you can lean into it a bit. Keep the legs, bring the arms to a T shape again. Press the right hip back, reach forward and down, touching the ankle, maybe a cushion or a block. Potentially peace fingers could grip the big toe. Right arm to the sky, Trikonasana triangle pose. Yeah, broadening the heart. It's a bit of a twisted feeling as the right shoulder moves back to be a bit more above the left. Yeah, and be thoughtful of that. As the shoulder moves, it's not the arm moving, right? I see that sometimes as a teacher. To get more space, I often see a student maybe just moving the edge of the body. Again, come back into the ribs. Let the twist come from something more internal, and then inevitably the hand will move, but it's because the inner body is building the space versus your outer body trying to pull into that. Let's do one more breath here. Finish on an exhale. Inhale, we'll stand all the way back up, and again, put your hands on your hips and adjust both feet so they're parallel. And then let's do goddess pose. So actually turn the heels in and the toes out. Bend your knees into a squat. Hands can come to your heart center. Yeah. Just kind of lean left and right, left and right. Maybe hover your heels a little bit or a lot. Yeah, get in there, get into the depth. Now hold the center, do some little mini squats. Let's go for 10. Just a little low, a little high. 9. You can do it. 8. Belly is long, crown of the head is high. 5. Yeah, 4. Soften your jaw. 3. Woo! It's gonna make pigeon so good, you guys, 2. And 1, star pose, feet flat, reach out, lengthen the arms out, lengthen the legs out, take a full breath in. And then as you forward fold, take a moment to readjust your feet parallel first and hinge at your hips to touch down to the ground. And one more opportunity here to do what yogi's choice within safety. Side to side, wag your tail, move the head around, maybe just shake out the head a little bit. Second opportunity for an inversion, but just please be thoughtful in your home environment. If you're near a glass table, maybe don't go upside down today. 2 more breaths. Okay, stay longer if you need it. Otherwise, bend your knees, crawl up to the left foot, spin the feet, step back, downward dog, or potentially your chaturanga flow if you'd like to add it in. Yeah, now for the juicy part. So let's go right leg up, bend your knee, roll the hip open. Now this time, instead of moving around like I kept having you do, try a little more steadiness. Just stay there, let the hip twist and roll. Breathe into that space. Maybe flip over into wild thing if you enjoy that. Right foot to the earth, left arm reaches. It's kind of a half twisted back bend shape, belly long. Yeah, such a nice belly stretch. We'll find our pigeon pose from here. So come back, replace the right hand where it was, and put your knee on the ground behind your wrist. right knee on the ground behind your wrist. Angle the right shin bone below you at a diagonal. Scooch the left leg back. Inhale, straighten, lengthen the spine up. Exhale, forward fold to the earth, bringing your elbows to the ground. Or maybe the head to the ground, and if possible, reach your arms all the way out. Now you want to feel like your hips are square here. Don't want to feel pain in the knee, right? So if your right knee is yelling at you right now, a couple options here is to give some support below the right hip. Take a thick couch cushion, something below that, yoga block if you have one. Give the hips some support. If that doesn't emit the right knee pain, get out of the pose, lay on your back, and thread the needle, okay? You can stay there, Kim, that's okay. But that would mean laying on your back, crossing the right ankle over the left knee, and then just simply getting a hip stretch there. All right, let's stay here. Let's get back into the breath. Yeah, good, Dawn. Soften the edges, even into your toes, the tips of the toes. What are those holding on to? Where's the joy, even in the depths of the challenge of what we may hold in our hips? Now we're going to stay here, or I'm going to offer up a mermaid pose. Challenging Kim here. We'll rise up. Now for mermaid, it's helpful. Keep the legs, but just bring the knees a little closer together so your hips are in the air versus collapse or versus on the ground. You're going to hug the midline, so you got to bring knee to knee, and then you're going to bend the left knee with your left hand, reach for the left ankle or the top of the foot, kind of a dancer's motion. Yeah, awesome. Then you're gonna pull that heel in towards your bum. And that could be sufficient. That might be it for you today. Otherwise, get so powered up in the legs, right arm can lift. Yes, Kim's showing so well. Oh, I love it, she can do it. And you might be able to clasp hand to hand. As you can see, her elbow and her foot are hooked. Then the power of her legs gives her that rise. It's that steady hug that allows for mermaid to be an expansive posture. One more breath, wherever you're at, it's all good. Sometimes it can be a spectator sport, and that's okay. We'll gently release out of whatever you had, push yourself up to your downward dog, and a little creative flow time here. So you can shake it out, you can do a chaturanga, you could swivel the feet and move the hips side to side. We'll of course go to the other side when ready, don't rush yourselves. Lift your left leg when the time comes. Bend the knee, let the hip hang open a little bit. Let it soften, let the shape give some space. This is cool, just opening it up, or flip over to your wild thing. Left arm will lift. Whole belly gets long. Keep the legs turned on. They're strong and steady so your back has that support it needs. Super cool. When you come back to center, re-put the left hand where it was, and then put the left knee on the ground behind your left hand. Angle the shin below you at about a diagonal. Scooch the right leg a bit more back, and you take yourself down. Take yourself into a place where you can breathe, maybe not super comfortably, right? So this is kind of the difference here. This isn't quite a restorative posture because there can be a bit of a hanging or not having a bolster below every joint right now. So there is that added challenge. It will increase with time. Just know that that is normal. The intensity of the posture will increase. It might bring up some really different emotions that you didn't even know were there to begin with. Maybe it's laughter. Maybe it's sadness. Maybe it's anger. And know that that is okay. That's why we're here, is to emote, to process. I 100% invite you to stay here or peek at the camera if you want to learn more about mermaid pose. Otherwise, maybe come up to the hands at first. Take the knees an inch or two closer together. The narrowing will help you have more power to hug into your center. Then bend the right leg and with the right hand reach back for your foot. And first, you just pull with the hand, pull the foot towards your glute, towards your booty. That's step one. And then out of that, just try to get tall. Step two is you kind of wiggle like Kim's showing. Try to get your elbow crease and the top of the foot to hang out together. If you're capable of that, bend the elbow and then lift the left arm up. Again, keep your attention in the legs. You're not sitting on the hip. You're hugging and lifting. Yeah, and then you can bind, potentially hand to hand, lifting from the ribs. So again, it's not so much the edges. The edges are helping you, but the inner body is guiding you. And then the breath can actually breathe in the pose. That's helpful. You can do it, Dawn. You can do it. I see you. When ready, slowly release whatever you've chosen or stay longer if you need to. And we'll take a little flow or a little free-form yoga of your choosing. Pedaling out, swirling out, maybe swiveling the hips and the ribs, side to side, front and back. So good, everybody. So we're gonna lay down your favorite way. You might step or hop through to a seat. But when you do lay down, have your strap or towel or belt with you, okay? If you don't have one, it's okay. I'll try to offer up options or alternatives. But hamstring stretch is so simple. Once you're reclined, we'll start with the right leg. So extend the left leg long on the ground out in front of you. And lift the right leg up and lasso your foot with your towel or strap. If again, you don't have one, just hold the back of the hamstrings as an alternative. I really like strap usage for these kinds of things. Because you want to think of it now, once you're there, whatever you have, like you're standing on that, like you're standing on the strap or the towel. So there's a push. Now as the foot is pushing upward, okay, keep the ribs really full, and now try to express the tailbone downward. So your low back is not hunched as if doing a crunch. Instead, see if you can actually arch the back naturally and healthfully so your belly button actually lifts a bit. Then the left thigh bone will root more easily. Stay here and do a very small rocking motion of the right leg right to left. Not a big one, like a boat in the harbor, observing the natural pattern of the water that it lives in. It's just this liquid. You'll probably hopefully feel some nice awarenesses of the right hip bone and that socket that it lies in. You now hold the towel or strap with just the right hand and get a nice high grip on it, pretty close to the foot if you can. Left hand to the left leg, left groin, and then open the right leg way out to the right. A nice healthy stretch of that inner leg. Yeah, keep the left hip down. So easy to let it pop up. If it pops up a little, you're okay. Nothing wrong with you. Just work towards a rootedness to gain more access to space. And then again, imagine you're standing on that right foot. So you're actually pushing the foot away, but pulling the tail to earth. Then that whole back side of the right leg, it gets nice and long. One more breath here, unless of course you choose to stay longer, that's cool. Otherwise, inhale, come back to center and we'll go to the twist. So before we twist this, take the left foot to the ground and scoot your hips to the right. Then re-extend your left leg, good Kim, and then cross the leg, switch the hands on the strap or blanket or towel and cross it all the way to the left. And open the right arm way to the right. Now this is a little too much for your spine. You could get rid of the strap, towel, whatever you had, and just bend your right knee into a more traditional supine twist. Okay. It's kind of nice sometimes, I think, to have that leg extension. Again, you're standing on that right foot as if you're in mountain pose, and the hips are rooting directionally away. The low back has a natural curve to it. Belly stays as long as possible, open and full. Fabulous. And on the inhale, friends, we'll come back to the center and switch legs by taking the left leg up, put it in the strap or towel and then take the right leg down. Kind of a fun little switch. Adjust the hips, by the way, if they were still a little crooked from the twist. And just the basic hamstring stretch for the left leg. Right leg out, flex the right foot, dig the right heel into the earth, open the belly. Again, a boat in the harbor, kind of a rocking motion. Not a big motion yet, just an invitation for the hip to loosen. Again, like in that warm embrace from somebody that we trust and is holding us when we need to release or, have some cathartic support. The stability of the legs and then the gentle rocking, it's that balance of the yin and the yang that gives our tissues and our fascia the information to reform, to have more space, to keep healthy. And with the left hand, choke up the grip, slide your hand a bit higher near the foot and open it way out to the left. Put your right hand on the right leg to help encourage that to stay down. If it pops up a bit or a lot, there's nothing wrong with you, it's normal. But the work is going to be how low to the ground can the right femur bone stay as that openness of the left leg exudes its full space. And even the little pains and frustrations that come up in the hip stretches, those can be joy, right? Those can be the joy of knowing, the joy of learning, the joy of having tools to heal, to grow, to get stronger and more open. Inhaling, we'll all come back to center when you're ready. We'll do the twist, but first use the right foot, bend the knee, and scoot your hips a little to the left first. Then re-extend the right leg and go all the way across, switching the hand on the strap or towel and crossing all the way to the right side with the left leg. And you roll all the way onto the left hip, so the knife edge of the right foot would eventually be on or near the ground. Yeah, nice, Allie. Again, if this is a bit much with the straight leg and the prop, let it go and do a more traditional supine twist, right? The knee stays bent, your hand holds the knee. Reduce the hesitation to stay full, even in the twist. Final breath. Of course, you can stay longer if you need. Alternatively, slowly find your way back to your center. Remove the strap. We'll find a hug or a happy baby. So either just hug your knees in and sway side to side, or happy baby, reach up for your feet and sway side to side. If reaching for your feet in happy baby is a bit much for you, a good alternative to still do the posture is to hold the backs of your knees and have the feet still up high. And that way you get that range of motion, you get that nice sway on the low back without having to overstrain yourself. Yeah. For Shavasana, please extend your legs out super long. Use your hands to untuck the pelvic floor. So you just grab one glute, grab the other glute, try to widen the right, then widen the left. Then you can even put your hands on the groins and try to push down, encourage the pelvis to ground. The hands could touch your belly and do a belly massage here if you like, working different tissues and spaces there. Stick with that, and or when ready, open your arms for final relaxation. Shavasana, the place where it is the easiest to run away and the most tempting to not do the pose. And now more than ever, the need or the value of focusing our attention into one thing at a time, to allow it to be 100% okay to not have to react, to not have to do, to not have to take in information, but instead to just be. To close the practice, I'm going to share a poem with you by one of my favorite poets. And then after the poem, I'll be leaving you all in Shavasana. The cameras will be turned off. You can stay as long as you need. And so this is a beautiful poem by David White called Sweet Darkness. When your eyes are tired, the world is tired also. When your vision has gone, no part of the world can find you. Time to go into the dark where the night has eyes to recognize its own. There you can be sure you are not beyond love. The night of the dark will be your home tonight. The night will give you a horizon further than you can see. You must learn one thing. The world was made to be free in. The world was made to be free in. Give up all the other worlds except the one to which you belong. Sometimes it takes darkness and the sweet confinement of your aloneness to learn anything or anyone that does not bring you alive is too small for you. Sometimes it takes darkness and the sweet confinement of your aloneness to learn anything or anyone that does not bring you alive is too small for you. Stay as long as you need. Thanks for being here. Namaste.